First of all, my name is Anna Benitez. I'm your host. I'm also one of the founders of Storyrocket. You'll hear a little bit more about me soon. Right now, I want to let you know that the founders, Ron Carraz and myself, Anna Benitez, I'm a two-time Emmy Award-winning producer. I've been in this industry for well over 25 years. I love what I do. I've been an author advocate to the movie business for a long, long time. My partner is Ron Carraz. He's actually the brainchild behind Storyrocket. He saw a lot of great writers just sitting on the sidelines waiting to be seen. And if you did not have a great agent or someone on the inside, the possibilities were zero that you would actually even get a chance to sit down and showcase your book. We are into our 9th year, so we are super happy. We're now on the road to our 10th, to a decade here, and Bowker has been with us 7 of those years, so we are very happy that you're here with us today. I love speaking live or here as I am today on the screen. I've been in a lot of best in class locations to speak, such as South by Southwest, now the Defunct Book Expo, the International Book Fair in Barcelona, Spain, the Austin Film Festival, and so forth. I love doing this, and I love meeting people face to face. Today, I am not in my workshops. I do get to see everyone. We do it very interactive, and I do get to see you and you get to see me. So hopefully if you get onto the next workshop, we can do that. So Storyrocket is a win-win for the writers who had the frustration of not being able to be seen. And also it was a win-win for producers, because back then they could only see what was approved by that studio. So they kept seeing the same writers over and over again because it's just a small group that was approved. When Netflix came in and started doing different things and using different writers and fresh voices, that started opening this up. We happened to be at the right place at the right time 9 years ago to allow that. That was our mission, to allow more writers to get seen, more writers to showcase their books and their talent. So I'm going to ask you, if you've been with me before, please do not spoil it for the rest of us here, but what do you believe is the single most valuable asset that you have when taking your book to Hollywood? There is no right or wrong answer. I just want to see what you guys are thinking. Again, just go on the chat. This is interactive. Let me know what you're thinking. Let me see if I can go on that chat again. Here we go. From a producer's perspective, I'm going to let you know that the single most valuable asset that you have in taking your book to Hollywood is actually your pitch. Your pitch. Why? It's the cornerstone of getting your book in front of producers and agents. Just like if you want to get your book into a publisher's hand, what is that single piece that you must have? Anyone? It's called a query letter, right? You're not going to get into the game of trying to get a traditional publisher if you can't query and get a good query letter into those hands. The same thing happens in our entertainment business. That piece, that vital piece, it's called a pitch. That's why you see pitch contests going on and so forth. A pitch is really a synthesized version of your story. Producers do not want to go through 300 pages and find out that this is not exactly what they're looking for. They want to see it as a pitch, and a pitch has very particular elements that we're going to go through a little bit later. Now, if you're starting your book to screen journey with me right now, or you've been in this business for a long time, for decades like I have, you still need a pitch. There is no way around it. This is how our business is set up. For some of you, this might be an aha moment. You've never heard this before. You never heard what's a pitch. And guess what? Storyrocket.com is built around your pitch. So it's built around a pitch. So let's go into that. Today, I will be demystifying the entertainment industry. I'm going to let you know what things are right, what things are wrong. There's a lot of misinformation out there, and they say information is power. So I will try to give that to you. So we understand the challenges that you might be facing as an author. So you might not have a big budget to promote your book. You might not live near a production center such as Los Angeles or one of the largest production centers today, which is Atlanta, which is where I am coming from today. You might not know the elements that producers are looking for. You might be wondering if you're too old or too young. Our oldest member of Storyrocket that I'm aware of is 91 years old. He's a pistol. He has 5 pitches up. And no, there is no time on what you're bringing to the table because they're really evaluating your story. You're not going in as a showrunner or as a producer. It's your story that's going to speak for you, and it's going to speak for you through a pitch. You're not sure how to pitch when the opportunity presents itself live or on screen like this. A lot of pitches now take place on Zoom as well. You don't understand how the deals are structured, or you have little or no contacts. So any of this, we hear you, and Storyrocket is here to help you showcase your book, your story to Hollywood with the least amount of money and the least amount of pain. I hope this is good news for you if you're looking for a way forward. So here's what we're covering today. The opportunity, why there's never been a better time than today, right now. If you didn't start last year or the year before, forget it. You have today to start creating your pitch and moving forward on your book to screen dreams. Why not knowing what to do is costing you valuable time and money. The must-have element to sell your book, which we just said, it's your pitch, right? And we're going to go inside of a pitch and we're going to see what the main elements are and how Storyrocket works. So we're going to cover all of that in this hour. Housekeeping, I'm going to take live questions at the end, so just write your questions down in a piece of paper as we go along, and I'd be happy to do that at the end. So here we are at the opportunity. Streaming came across only about 11, 12 years ago, so we're still in baby steps. The entertainment industry had to adapt to this new reality very, very fast because COVID came in. People started binge watching. Something that wasn't streaming was there, but it wasn't such a big thing. All of a sudden it exploded and everyone needed to get on board. What I mean by everyone, it's all the networks, NBC, CBS, ABC, they all needed to start streaming and have their own streaming platform. Now we're seeing consolidation of some of these pieces together. But what I'll tell you is streaming is here to stay because that's the way people want to watch our shows today. So there's a lot more channels. There's a channel almost for everything, right? From cooking shows to history, to war, to memoirs, to you name it, it's there. So this is a huge opportunity for everyone like yourself who are holding in your hands IP, intellectual property, content, a story, right? So content in our business, in our entertainment business, is considered king because nothing starts without a story. In your case, a book. You have a book in your hands, that's your intellectual property. So the video streaming revenue in 2024, according to Variety, was $61 billion. This is one piece of business of all the pieces of business that go on in Hollywood. You only need a sliver of that to have a really good life. So here are some of the shows or the movies that actually made it to screen that started as self-published book. And I know a lot of you here are self-published, so that's really great news. So why should you position yourself to sell your book to Hollywood? Why should you take the time, the energy, the effort, the money to try to position your book to Hollywood? Well, the average book sells 300 copies. I had a publisher on my last webinar, Bowker webinar, and he said, yeah, about 250, you're lucky if you sell 300 and less after that. So you're not going to make money off your book. And you're definitely not going to propagate whatever you are, your message that your book has, through a lot of people. It's just simply, it's not going to happen. So The fact was that there was 2.6 million self-published books published in 2023. This is according to our partner Bowker. That's print and ebook combined. There was only 15 distinct fiction titles that reached the #1 spot for the New York Times bestseller. That's for combined also print and ebook fiction category in 2024. So you can see it's hard to get into that #1 spot. Now, there's a lot of other spots and a lot of other categories that you might get into. But here's the trend. The trend is that globally and on streaming platforms such as Netflix, roughly 25 to 40% of TV series are based on books, which is what you have in your hand. And the trend is that books are going to continue to be a major source of TV storytelling worldwide. So only not on the domestic market, but also the international market. So this is all good for you. Let's look at this. Before, if you were not a New York Times bestseller, most likely you were being passed up by Hollywood. That is not the case today. It's almost a reverse that we can see. So, The Queen's Gambit, for example, 2023, the series premiered, and by November 14, a few weeks later, it was already the #3 book on the New York Times bestseller. But get this, the author wasn't well known. She didn't have a social media following. The book was written back in 1983, right? So we're talking 27 years before. Someone looked at that story, they saw its potential, and they developed it, and then it became a bestseller. The same thing with the Bridgerton series, okay? They took a chance on it. December 25, 2020, it premiered. By January 2nd, 2 weeks later, The Duke and I premiered #1, New York Times bestselling list, and then all 5 books went on a month later to make it on the list. So as you can see, producers are taking chances on fresh voices, great stories, and then they, in turn, on the other side, become bestsellers. I want you to meet one of our members, Kathy Keller. She's been successful with Storyrocket. She has gotten the attention of an agent, a producer, and I want you to hear her story because I think a lot of you guys can really see yourselves in her. So let's go ahead and show Kathy Keller. When you found out that you had an agent and a producer looking at one of your pitches on Storyrocket, how did you feel?
I was actually shocked, and I'm still pinching myself, and I still can't believe it. Even better, I was the agent who is interested in my Christmas story and is shopping it now. Is left the window open or the door open for me to submit future projects, and that is worth its weight in gold.
I want people to know that you don't have hundreds of followers or even thousands of followers. You're not big into social media or promotion. You just have a great story and you put it up on Storyrocket. So for those of people that are wondering, oh, she probably has a great machinery behind you, and you even said you have a limited budget.
Yes, and I tell you, I'm terrible at self-promotion. I don't like to do it. I just want to write, and I just want people to be happy with what I wrote. So Storyrocket is a perfect engine for me. It's been an invaluable tool, and I would highly recommend it.
So you are now living the dream that most authors want, to have the door open to a agent, and you have a fantastic agent. I know your agent, he's a top agent in Hollywood. All right, so what would you tell people about Storyrocket? What would you tell them if they're looking at us right now and saying, geez, this sounds like a good idea, but I'm not sure?
Well, particularly if you're new to the industry, you have no contacts, you have no agent, you don't know anybody that will, advance your work. I would say that this is a very invaluable tool. Storyrocket, I would not have the opportunity that I have now if it weren't for Storyrocket and for you, Anna.
So I'm going to continue with my deck. Uh, so Kathy Keller is is interesting because she is not a spring chicken. So there goes that myth. She doesn't have following on social media. In fact, she's working hard at it now that she has an agent. Um, she wasn't someone that was produced before. So, she has all these things about her. And she told me, Anna, before that interview, I was about to give up. If I didn't find Storyrocket, I was about to give up. So, I hope you got inspired by Kathy's story, because that's the whole thing, that we inspire you to take on this journey, this book to screen journey. So I'm going to ask you, are you ready? I hope that you guys are. Um, so here we go. We're just gonna continue here. So do you understand what the entertainment industry is looking for? Answer these questions to yourself. Do you have a log line that sells? And we're going to talk about, I'm going to just make a little parenthesis here about a log line. So a log line is the first thing that producers are trained to read. It's one or two sentences that capture the essence of your story. So it's your whole storyline in one or two sentences. This is hard to write, especially for authors who are used to writing 300 pages. And now I'm saying synthesize it in one or two sentences. Yeah, it's really difficult, but it can be done. And you need to do this exercise in order to have a strong log line. What happens if a producer comes and reads your log line and your log line is not great? They're going to pass it up. They're going to go to the next pitch that's up there. Not because your story isn't good. Your story might be great, but you didn't know how to sell it. You didn't have a great log line. So do you understand option contracts? This is the first type of contract, or the most common form of contract that you come across in our business. Do you have a pitch package or a written pitch that you can leave behind? Can you deliver a compelling live pitch if asked on the spot, right? Do you know what to expect? What questions the producer might ask you? Do you have a professional leave behind piece for producers and agents? And do you have context in the entertainment industry? Some of you might say yes to some of this. Some of you say no to all. It's okay. That's why we're here. So I want to know, what is your biggest challenge? If you guys could go onto the chat, let me know, what is your biggest challenge that you have right now in taking your book to Hollywood? Is it contacts? Is it money? Is it your story? Maybe it's not meant for the screen. What is it that's keeping you from taking your book to Hollywood? Let's see. All I see is Jess's right now. All right, we're gonna continue. But I've heard a lot of you guys talk about the challenges that you have. Maybe you're really not great at promotion, right? Like Kathy was, and so forth. But none of this should hold you back, because the important thing is to get onto that journey, to start learning and start doing everything that you need to do. So a lot of people tell me, Anna, just give me access. I just want to pitch in front of a producer. I'll tell you, pitching to a producer is never easy. This is Austin Film Festival. A few years ago, we were one of the sponsors. We sponsored the pitch finale, and we had the top 5 stories being pitched live to a big location that held about 1,000 people listening to the pitches. And then you have Hollywood executives sitting on the sideline deciding what's good and what's not. Before these 5 came on board, they had to beat, I think it was 300 other people to that stage. So it's never easy. You have to know what you're doing, and you've got to be prepared. This is the must-have element that we've been talking about, a pitch. This is what a pitch looks like on Storyrocket. We're going to go on the inside, but before we do that, you're probably wondering, what's inside a pitch, right? What are the elements? What are we looking for? So you have your book cover, or It could be a poster if it's a screenwriter and your title of your book, a one-page synopsis, right? We're not looking for a 5 or 10 pages. If you are sending a synopsis to a publisher, they're probably looking for a 5-page synopsis, sometimes even a 10. But for producers, we're looking for a one-page synopsis. We're looking for a tagline. That's like a promotional line. The log line, which I just went through, the video section, the cast wish list, a 5-page sample of your book. So we don't give the whole book away, but 5 pages so they can see what's it about. A leave behind PDF, which is your entire pitch becomes a PDF, and you can send it. You can print it, you can send it, electronically. Storyrocket registration number. An external registration number. What am I talking about that? It could be your ISBN number. It could be your US copyright number. It could be a WGA if you're a screenwriter and you have a pitch up on Storyrocket. They would normally put their Writers Guild of America number. So anything that you have like that. Material type. What do you have in your hands right now? Do you have a manuscript, which is a book that has not been published? Do you have a book? Do you have a treatment? Do you have just a story? Do you have a book? The intended medium, is it intended for television, for streaming? Is it intended for the theatrical? What is it intended for? The setting of your story and the era. Reviews, your top 3 reviews are going to go on your pitch. And filter for advanced search and your social media links. So let's talk about social media links for a minute. What are your top social media links? I like to see that on the chat. Do you guys have your story or an author page on Facebook, on Instagram, on TikTok, on LinkedIn? Go in the chat, let me know. I'm curious to find out what you guys are using. Patty says Instagram, thank you. Anybody else wants to chime in? Hey. LinkedIn, okay. That's Norma, okay. Anybody else? I see Instagram and LinkedIn. I'm surprised that Facebook wasn't the first one out, because that's what the numbers suggest, the research, that it's the majority of the writers are on Facebook. Okay. So now, oh, Jack, yeah, he's got 9,000 subscribers on his newsletter. He has an author site, he's got a newsletter, and he's got a series. It's a thriller series based in Milan, with two spies. And he says he's got 9,000 subscribers on that list. That's amazing. That's a lot of subscribers. Jack, you're doing great on that. All right, so let's go next to find out about what Storyrocket looks on the inside. Let's see. Welcome to Storyrocket. We are on the inside of Storyrocket. This is our navigation bar, and we will be using this throughout this presentation. So first, we are on the dashboard. This is where everyone lands. It doesn't matter if you're a producer or a writer. You will see featured projects. You would see other projects, and these change out every time someone comes in and out so that everyone has an opportunity to be featured here. What to watch, our trending projects, and then our writers. So our writers also switch out to allow everyone to be seen. Here we see people from the United States, from Spain, from Canada. We see my notifications, and here is my personal library, which are the books or projects that I like that I want to maybe come back to later and easily find. Okay, let's go in here and let's search one of these projects. Let's say, how about The Blood Queen? Okay. So here we are inside The Blood Queen's pitch. This is what a pitch looks like on Storyrocket. The first thing I want you to notice is the URL, storyrocket.com, the Blood Queen. This is a microsite. It is your own unique microsite. You will get one for each of your projects or your books. Why? This allows you to share your pitch and promote your pitch, not only inside of Storyrocket, but also outside. So let's look at what a pitch includes. So the name of the book, your tagline, up to 3 genres. This writer has chosen history, drama, and supernatural. Here we can view PDF sample, which is 5 pages of your writing. I can request a full project, which means your entire manuscript, and it's up to you to decide whether to allow me to have it or not. It's always in the writer's hand. The PDF pitch package, which I will start opening up because it takes 1 moment to actually render. So here we have David's pitch. And as you can see, all the information is loaded up here, including all of his characters and his 5 pages. What is great about this is that you can either download it onto your computer so you can have it as a PDF and send it elsewhere, or you can actually print it. This is the leave behind page or sales page that everybody raves about, because you can actually take it to booksellers, you can take it for podcast interviews, for media interviews, for leave behind with producers and agents. So this is really a great piece. Here we go. We have your log line. And again, the log line is the first thing the producers are trained to read. If we like it, we continue reading. If not, we move on. We see your synopsis, the 90-second written pitch, the comparables, which are projects in television or film that have something in common with your book or story. And here we have his trailer. So you get that. This is all the characters, his main characters. I always say to put no more than 5. Why? Because we don't want to confuse producers. We want to make sure that they're zoning into your main characters that are moving the story forward. We can also see that this author has other projects on Storyrocket. So if I like what I'm seeing, I want to know more about David Millar, the author. So it's easy. I just go in here and I see his picture. I see all his social media. I see he's from Houston. I see that he's been a member since October 2023. I can also see his own company, his personal website, and all the information that you want to put up. There's more information you could put up here. I can see his biography. I can also see that he has other 3 projects. And if I wanted to see another one, I could just simply go into it, click onto it, and see what Canal 1 is all about, okay? So that is pretty darn easy. Again, anyone can build this site. This is self-assisted. So it will ask you, what is your log line? What is your tagline? Who is writing this? Is it a book? Is it a manuscript? It's easy to build. Let's look at our search engine. This is where producers, agents, publishers, and anyone that is looking for content will come. So you see that it's first seen as most viewed. That is the default. But I have to tell you that most producers and agents come in here onto the genres. There's over 32 genres. Every single agent or producer lives in 1 or 2 lanes. So if they're into comedy, they're going to be looking at comedy projects. If they're into drama or family or children or sci-fi. So this is how you will see different things. Let's go into another project. Let's look at Snow in Vietnam. So Snow in Vietnam is by Amy Lee. You can see all of the different things. Again, look at the URL, Snow in Vietnam, a novel, storyrocket.com, Snow in Vietnam, a novel. That is the name that she has put. It's a war, family, history. Again, you can see all her information, her synopsis, her log line, her 90-second written pitch, her comparables, her book trailer, and her cast wish list. She says that this is, I guess, between the Joy Luck Club and Crazy Rich Asians. So that's pretty interesting to a producer, just because one of these was such a big hit not too long ago. Again, if I want to see more of Amy, I go in here. I can see her biography. I can read more about her. She's also a small publisher, Quill Hawk Publishing. She has it there. She has all of her information, including her phone number and her contact. I can see all her different projects. She's got 5 projects up. I can quickly take a look at that and go into any one of these projects, as I've seen before. I also see all her awards and all her associations. So you can see that this is someone that's very involved and has taken time to build her own author's platform. She is also networking on Storyrocket. So you can see the people who are following her, who she is following, and connections, which are people that are following her back. So when 2 people follow each other, that's a connection, and they can write to each other on the mailbox. I think this gives you a great idea of what Storyrocket is all about. And we are back live. I hope that was interesting for you guys who have never seen Storyrocket, have never gone on the inside, to see how it works, what it does, what a pitch looks like, and so forth. A lot of people love Storyrocket, even the pros, because they know they have a pitch available 24/7 whenever they need it. They can send it with one click. They could promote easily on social media. All the authors need to promote, whether it be on LinkedIn or on Facebook or on Instagram or on X or whatever it is that your platform of choice is. All right, so we're going to continue on that deck. I want to talk about some of the success stories. Kenny Chumley, he's from a small town, Ratul, Illinois. We helped him see the potential of this evergreen story, The Goblins and the Gravedigger. He did this backstory based on only 8 pages of Dickens. So he found these 8 pages that were gold, and he said, I can make this amazing backstory. He did, and he produced it into a radio play. They got broadcasted in US, Canada, Australia, Ireland, England, and Scotland. This year, he revealed a stage play. I was fortunate enough to be invited. He was so kind to give some words on the stage about me. And it was amazing. It was amazing. It was amazing to see his dream come alive. And now he wants to take it on to film or television. So he's working on that. He is now currently working on a screenplay and fielding agents. That's where he's at. This is what Kenny says about us. The service Storyrocket provides is a godsend to nobodies like myself who don't have a ghost chance of getting the work noticed. Believe me when I say that Storyrocket is a friend to all whose creativity deserves a larger stage. We love Kenny. He is not a nobody. He's a brilliant, brilliant writer. Linda Rodriguez, she's a bilingual children's self-published book. That's what she has. And Storyrocket says helped to create the elements that she needed to get ahead in her book to movie journey. She is working with an independent producer now, and she's also gotten her book distributed into the school system and has garnered the attention of the 3rd largest children's publisher in Spain, who actually has an account on Storyrocket as well. With Storyrocket, I have a clear understanding of what it takes to get my stories produced, having carefully drafted a logline. Here goes logline again. And a synopsis. By the way, before Linda joined us, she had no idea what a logline was. And consider which actors I would like to play the characters that I've developed has been the perfect way for me to pump up my work to the next level. It's exciting as producers and publishers are taking notice. She's a writer and a professor at the University of Mayaguez in Mayaguez, Puerto Rico. And now I want you to meet Robert Thayer. So Robert Thayer is a self-published children's author. He has gotten a lot of attention. He started by creating a pitch, perfecting the pitch, doing some development work with us, and now he's amazing. He's basically he's just basically getting now a lot of interviews and seeing different producers and studios. I just want you to hear his story. So let's go ahead and
Robert
hear
Scott
Robert
Thayer
Scott.
from Buck County, Pennsylvania, and I'm a children's author.
So you have a beautiful children's series, and I know you've worked really hard on it, and a lot of things are happening with it, and you're saying it's a lot has happened because of Storyrocket, but I want you to share that with people who are listening with us today.
Absolutely, and I'll tell you, Storyrocket has catapulted my writing career, where I'm now getting feedback from producers for a possible animated series, and these producers are from Warner Brothers, Netflix, and Marvel Entertainment, just to name a few, and I'm so excited. I mean, if I wasn't a Storyrocket member, none of this would have ever happened.
Let's talk about your books for a second. You have 4 pitches up on Storyrocket, all with the Kobe Manatee series. I see Kobe behind you on your couch. You might want to show Kobe up.
Absolutely. Here's Kobe.
There's Kobe.
Since I wore a cap, I made sure I put a cap on Kobe. So.
And so you have 4 pitches on Storyrocket, right?
Yes.
With some special guests. So can you tell us just briefly about those?
Absolutely. My first book, Kobe Manatee Heading Home to Florida, I have Dr. Katie Tripp. And Dr. Katie Tripp is a part of Jimmy Buffett's Save the Manatee Club. So this book is all about manatees. Book 2 is all about weather. And you'll learn about Kobe goes from Key West, Florida to Nassau, Bahamas, and he gets in a hurricane, a water spout, and oh my gosh, all kinds of fun stuff that can he survive it? And book 3, I'm really honored and privileged because I'm using Jacques Cousteau's oldest grandson, Fabien Cousteau. Fabien helped me do these colorful reef fish identification.
You've done beautiful work. I have Kobe behind me somewhere on my.
I see. That's the weather one. I can test.
Yeah, you see it back there.
I see the waves.
Yeah. And so I wanted to ask you. You've been with us on Storyrocket Lives, which is our professional development series where we just had attorney Larry Haber on. You've had one-on-one coaching from me and from Jamie. You've done some development. And now we're seeing the fruits of your work. So I want you to tell me, what would you tell someone that's looking at Storyrocket for the first time? They're wondering if they should join us or not.
So for all you people looking at me right now and listening, if you have your book and you want it to become a film and it's on the big screen, I advise you right now to contact Storyrocket. You'll never be sorry you did that. Contact them right now.
Oh my God. Thank you so much, Robert. We are so excited for everything that is happening with you. Thank you for sharing it with us and everyone that's watching.
Thank you, Anna. I really appreciate it. And thanks again for all the help you're giving us. And me. And Kobe.
And Kobe.
And we are back live. I hope you love Kobe's story as much as I do. It always makes me smile. Kobe and Robert. So you've seen a lot of success stories, and I think you're probably wondering, or I would think you're wondering, am I going to get the same results? Am I going to be as successful as Robert? Am I going to be as successful as Linda? Am I going to be as successful as Kathy? I don't know. And that's the honest truth. If somebody's telling you, hey, give me all this money, I'm going to get you produced tomorrow, please run away from those people. Nobody knows. All you could do is give it your best shot. Getting produced is not easy, but it is possible. It is happening to people like you, people that are self-published, people that do not have a huge following, people that just have a great story in their hands, whether it be children, whether it be a memoir, whether it be historical fiction, whether it be sci-fi. All this is happening now. So I wanted to let you know that we are much more than a site to create and showcase your story. If that's all you want to do, that is fine. But we also help get you ready, right? Because you need to feel like you belong. You don't need to feel like an imposter in order to be successful here. The more you stay in this, the more that you understand the business and you're like, okay, I can do this too. All these people have done it. I can do this too. So I want to talk to you about what we've built. We've been around, like I said in the beginning, for 9 years. This is, we just turned 9. You are coming to here through Storyrocket.com, which is the first step for everyone. This is your first step in your book to screen journey. You must have a pitch. You create a pitch on Storyrocket. You saw what that looks like. And once that pitch gets uploaded, it automatically goes into a search engine where Storyrocket.com have over 350 producers and agents looking for content for them to pick up and produce. The next part is Storyrocket, the master classes. We call it the Empower, because you are empowering yourself to learn, understand, and move forward in this journey. So that's the masterclass series. We have Storyrocket Live, which is free events that we do throughout the year, about once a quarter. We bring in an expert to talk about a theme, and then we take live questions from everyone that's there from our membership. So these are called Storyrocket Live events, and these are free professional development series. If you see them around, please join us. And then this year, we just launched the Accelerator, the Storyrocket Accelerator. This is where we take a development team around your story, around your book, and we take it from development into all the way to pitching it for you. It's a 1-year process, sometimes even a little longer. It's not for everyone. It is a bit expensive, but there's a reason. There's a lot of money going out to pay a team for a year around your property. But these are everything that we do on Storyrocket. We're really proud of everything that we do, and we're happy that you're here with me today, even if it's the first time that you've heard of us. Partners that believe in our mission. J.V. Hart, he's the writer behind Hook, Bram Stoker's Dracula, Contact, Lara Croft, Tomb Raiders, a lot more. He's giving master classes to our membership, and we just love him. The Storyrocket Lives that we just spoke about, these are the free events. We get everything from attorneys to J.V. Hart talking about, this isn't a free event, talking about his life as a screenwriter. NBC executives talking about what to do if you want to get into the business. The last Storyrocket Live we did was with Lawrence Haber, an attorney, also talking about patent, trademarks, and copyright. Obviously, he was focusing on copyrights because that's what you need for your book. But he made the distinction because people confuse them all. And then he took live questions from people. So that was really exciting. It was really fun. The paid master classes, we've had them with people like Steve Cuden, who is the genius behind Jekyll and Hyde for Broadway, and it traveled the world, but he's also had over 40 years in Hollywood. He's written over 90 teleplays, and he taught screenwriting for an entire day. We also had How to Land a Literary Agent last year with Leanne Ward, which we're about to bring her back this year as well. So these are paid master classes. They run about $350 for a full day on a small class, about 10 to 12 people, no more than that, learning face-to-face with a giant from the industry. Those are the paid master classes. And now the Accelerator, like I just talked about, that brings the story through a whole development pipeline with studio quality elements that you keep, and you keep 100% of your IP. So all of these is what Storyrocket is about. We believe that you start your journey on Storyrocket.com by building a pitch, understanding the elements of a pitch, getting better at it, see if you get some traction, and then joining us for other things. So this is a Storyrocket Accelerator, a Hollywood team built around your IP. I don't think there's anything like it out there, and we're really proud of what we're doing. So our mission is to help you get ready and succeed on your book to screen journey. That is our mission. That's been my personal mission for almost 10 years, to take authors that are committed to taking their book to screen and helping them get there. Your job, I believe, is to give yourself a shot, to believe in yourself, believe in your story, believe in your book, and understand that there is a different journey that you need to learn and you need to get into in order to take your book to screen. And that's why we're here. So I believe the secret is this. It's not something that is space science. You need a pitch, right? I think I've established that from the get-go. Whether you're starting with us today, you started 5 years ago, you've been in this business decades, you still need a pitch. You need access to be seen. So if you don't have those contacts, Storyrocket provides a place where you showcase your pitch and people are looking, they can come across it and see it. And if they really love it, they'll reach out to you through Storyrocket. We are not a middleman. They'll reach out directly through the platform and it gets pushed into your email. And you need knowledge on the industry because you need to feel like you belong, not be an imposter. And you need a certain mindset of perseverance and grit, and it doesn't matter at what age, you can still have that mindset. And Storyrocket gives you the tools, the access, and the knowledge to get discovered. So the benefits for you is showcasing your story for over 350 producer. You now have a professional pitch, which is the element that our business is looking for. Everything's together in one place. You can promote your pitch now, not only inside of Storyrocket, but outside through your unique link. You get a URL link to your pitch, and you can do it on social media. You could do it through email. You could do it to your list, any way you want to use your pitch. You're going to learn from entertainment industry professionals who are free. Ask Me Anything, which is our Storyrocket Lives. You're going to have a great looking leave behind sales pitch that people use for many things, to get author interviews, to get on podcasts, to go to a bookseller and see if you could just go in there and sign some autographs and sign some books. So, and then you're locking into this year's pricing. So even if the price increases, we haven't increased our price in the last 3 years. We try not to, because we want to make this affordable for anyone who wants to give it a shot. But you would lock into this year's prices if we end up increasing later on. So you have two options to consider. Number one is taking all this information. I've given you a lot of great information. You could do all the research yourself. You can pay for courses to learn the industry. You can hire a great graphic artist and create a professional pitch, build your own URL, buy social media ads to try to attract producers to your book, or you could try knocking on doors, which cost thousands more, and I do not recommend. Or you can get started today with us, which is a complete system. Have you seen? We give you the tools to create your pitch. We showcase your work to producers and agents. We give you an easy to promote microsite. You get the knowledge you need to start getting ahead. And I believe that our system is faster and easier than trying to do it all on your own, especially in an affordable price. We're not breaking the bank to do this. You don't need to decide whether, oh, I need to pay my rent or pay Storyrocket. It's not that case, okay? And you're getting into the pipeline. So this is what Bowker is bringing you for being here with me today. You get a professional plan with up to five pitches. So you can create up to 5 pitches. And they're taking 10% off that price, because you could go on into Bowker right now or to Storyrocket. You will see it. It's $245. So you will pay $220.50 for an entire year. I want to state that again. It's an entire year of Storyrocket. We're not saying every month you need to pay this. And then I'm bringing in 2 valuable bonuses for those who want to join us today. And that is, one is how to create a logline that sells. This is a video from our vault. We do not sell this at all. You only get it through webinars. And it's a video that breaks down. It's our most popular video, the most requested video. It's how do you break down a logline and create a logline that sells. So that's the first bonus that I'm bringing in. You get that for free. And you heard about the bonus. The science is that it needs to be concise and clearly communicate the core idea in 1 or 2 sentences. We're not talking 3, it's 1 or 2. And the art is it needs to be compelling, and it needs to be kind of a teaser to leave the producing wanting to see or read more. And the second bonus I'm bringing to you is a workshop with me. And that workshop, a lot of people say, hey, that's a game changer. That's what I needed. I'm starting to understand a producer's mindset, which is what you need to do in order to succeed in this industry. Just like you needed to learn the book publishing industry in order to do your self-publishing or query, right? You need to understand that business. You need to understand our business too. So the small group pitch workshop works through every single element of a pitch, and you're getting my point of view. You're doing it with me. So that is the second bonus. It's worth $250 a year, an hour and a half with me, breaking down a pitch, and you will get invited to the next one that's coming up. So Brooke Brown, PhD, she wrote her book in Mali, and she says, I can't thank you enough for your generous tutelage today. I'm going to dive into continue to refine my pitch, which I can do now. Thanks to you. Thank you for your encouragement. I trust your expertise in evaluating my project. So this is the webinar offer that we're bringing today. You're signing up through Bowker with this professional plan that you're getting 10% off. Additionally, Storyrocket is throwing in 2 additional bonuses. When you're buying, you're only buying the Bowker plan. And then on Monday, when we receive the sales, then we write to you, we send you the log line, and then we're going to invite you as soon as we have the next pitch workshop, we will invite you to that. So the total package is worth $645. You're paying today $220.50 for a full year of Storyrocket, creating up to 5 pitches, the logline video, the small group pitch workshop. So you're getting all that for $220.50. That is I think, great value. Here's the catch. This is Sunday, expires this Sunday, March 29th. 2026, March 29, 2026. For those of you that want to join me today, I have another little bonus, which is the cheat sheet. I call it a cheat sheet, but it's really everything that you need to create a pitch and the word counts, so you can start working them already and start on a good footing. So I will throw that in if you join me today. All right, for those of you who are joining me today, but if not, you have until Sunday, right, to get all of this. March 29 at midnight. How do you do this? You go to Bowker. You guys know the Bowker link, which is myidentifiers.com, www.myidentifiers.com. There are tabs on the top. You go to the tab that says market your book. You're going to look for Storyrocket, and you're going to use this code, my story altogether. Please take note of this if you would like to join us. I hope you do. Or a screen capture or a picture from your with your phone, because this is the information you will need. It looks like this. You're going to go to myidentifiers.com. On the top tab, you're going to go market your book. You're going to look for Storyrocket on the offerings that they have. This is a Storyrocket page. You're going to go down and you're going to say order now. So it says you pay only $245 per year. So what you're going to do is you're going to go to cart, right? Unless you want to buy barcodes or something else to add to the cart, but if not, you're going to go to cart, and you're going to go to my story. The coupon code is my story, again, all caps, all together, no spaces. You're going to use that as a coupon code that will give you the discount, and then we will get a list of who bought through Bowker on Monday after the sales is over. And you'll get the other bonuses directly from us. So that's the way to join us now at Storyrocket. So I hope this has been just enlightening for some of you that want to take the book to Hollywood. And now what I want to do is take questions. So it's Q&A time. Does anybody have any questions? Let's see. I see a question here. Are these classes in person? Is it the master classes that you're talking about, they're all on Zoom. But unlike a webinar where I don't see you, I'm not taking live questions from you, you're actually like me right now. You're actually in your home or in your office, and you are live like this, and we are seeing you, you're seeing us, and we're taking questions. So that's how these master classes are happening. Let me see, is there any other question before I leave? I don't see any other question. She says, somebody says, thank you very much. Let me see if, let me go back. Maybe there's questions about that. Let's see. Prabhat says, thank you very much for this most useful webinar. I'm a multi-genre author with 41 years of English writing experience. What should I do when I already have many books in different genres? Which one should I start with? Okay, so with this offer, you have 5 pitches. So you could put up to 5 books. It's really up to you. I can't say one genre is better than the other. When you're thinking of the books to put up Storyrocket, think of the potential for a film. Think of it that way. Some books lend themselves, read more like a movie or a series than others. So my question to you back is, when you are analyzing, like you say, you've been writing for 41 years. I don't know how many books you actually have. We actually have a 10 project also plan on Storyrocket. Think of the books that you feel have the best potential to be on screen. And then I see Norma here. She says, excuse me for a second. She says, thank you. This is opening a door. Yes, it is. And it's open doors for a lot of people. That's it. I don't think I have any other questions. This has been easy peasy for me. Thank you so very much. If you have any questions, if you come up with a question afterwards, please know that we have a 5-star help desk at storyrocket.com. It's email based. Just email us and say, I have this question. Helpdesk at storyrocket.com. And I thank you so much for your time. We do something that we call Storyrocket Love. It's a triangle. For the rocket, it turns into a heart, triangle heart, and I throw it to all of you guys. I appreciate your time. I appreciate you working with me today, even with all the technical difficulties. I hope this has been enjoyable and valuable for you. Thank you so much, and I hope to see you on the inside. Thank you. Bye-bye.